Today has already been a historic day for video game history as Rockstar Games suffered one of the worst leaks I've ever seen, and right now it's unclear the full extent of the damage, but this is extremely bad. Over 90 videos leaked, including parts of the Grand Theft Auto 6 source code, and right now the hacker, the individual behind this, supposedly was behind another hack a couple of days ago of Uber, and this doesn't appear to be a disgruntled employee or an angry fan, and there's indication that tracking this individual down, suing them like I'm sure Rockstar's lawyers would love to do, might not be that easy. But for everything GTA 6, make sure you are subscribed. I will have all of this covered in the future, not just news videos like this, but other coverage surrounding the game. Now, if you have not been following along at all to this situation, it began on the GTA forums around 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The day after the 9-year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5, this hacker just unloaded all kinds of information that I don't think we're all ready for with Grand Theft Auto 6. 90 clips of videos of in-game testing of animations and all kinds of stuff made by Rockstar developers. It was all stolen, hacked, and leaked by this individual, Teapot Uber hacker. And he says that it's possible they could leak more data soon. GTA 5 and 6 source code and assets, GTA 6 testing build. And they have indeed leaked parts of the GTA 6 source code as evidence that this is indeed the real deal. Now the thing is about the source code that I think some people are not understanding and why that's so bad is that if the source code of this game gets leaked, this would allow a lot of hackers, cheaters to go absolutely wild with GTA 6. Not to mention piracy. All of this is reason why there could be internal delays at Rockstar Games, and I've already heard discussion about that, depending on how bad this actually gets. Now, this individual has been also active on the GTA forums, responding to users, providing further evidence, and also even finding things in the source code for some users. Anyway, about 14 or so hours later, we do have a couple of updates on this story, including one from Teapot Uber hacker. This individual took to the GTA forums and updated his original post, and he made quite clear what his intention is from this, and he wants money. He said, okay, so this has gone unexpectedly viral, which is a weird thing to say, as somebody posting had to have known that this was going to be enormous, but he said he woke up to over 3,000 Telegram DMs. If you are an employee of Rockstar Take-Two Interactive, which is the parent company of Rockstar, and you're trying to contact me, send a message containing a bunch of numbers on Telegram, or you can email me at his Proton email. From your corporate email address. I will try to read all of the replies soon. I am looking to negotiate a deal. And as shown by video game industry insider Tom Henderson, the hacker has now said that he will sell Grand Theft Auto 5 source code and assets and will not accept any offers under 5 figures. The GTA 6 source code, at least right now, is not up for sale. But we've seen other companies suffer major hacks before. CD Projekt Red, they were hacked, I believe, a year or so ago, and the Cyberpunk 2077 source code was sold off. And another conversation with this hacker in which a person pretended to be a Rockstar/Take-Two employee, he once again stated that he has the source code and told them that the IT team can check the logs for proof. Now, for what it is worth, at this point in time, Rockstar Games has not delivered a statement, and it seems unlikely, at least today, at Sunday, they are going to release a statement. They have remained quiet, but they have been making some actions behind the scenes as they began to DMCA the gameplay footage that's right now all over the internet. And that is something that will not slow down. So all of that footage you see on YouTube channels, it's getting taken down. And this does seem like something that's too big now to completely stop, but Rockstar's legal team and Take-Two Interactive's legal team are going to try to stop it at the very least. And I do want to mention that I have talked to a couple of sources that I do have at Rockstar Games. I've seen some other journalists as well. This is indeed the real deal. This was early footage. The game did not go into full production until the last couple of years, so this game has evolved quite a bit over time. It looks a lot different now, that's what I've been told, but this is early footage. A lot of the stuff within it, I saw some people saying, no, it's fake because of this reason. It's all placeholders. All of this was subject to change. It was footage that was never intended for the public to see, as Rockstar's development teams were testing various aspects of the experience. But ultimately, the Rockstar sources that I've had conversation with this morning are extremely sad. They're devastated, they're pissed that this happened, and they really don't know what's going to happen moving forward, how our leadership will respond. They're all waiting until the beginning of the week to see. And there's an assumption that some have, just because of this hack and also the Uber one, that work from home is something that's probably going to be going away. That's just a discussion that a lot of people have been having throughout this industry as well. One Rockstar source that I talked to earlier today joked that Grand Theft Auto 6 will now never release because of this hack, but obviously it will. It's unclear if the timeline changes because of the events that happened today. As I'm sure most of you have seen for yourself, this has been a viral story all over social media, but we have seen some big gaming industry figures responding to this leak. We had Neil Druckmann, the Naughty Dog co-president, saying to my fellow devs out there affected by the latest leak, "Know that while it feels overwhelming right now, it'll pass. One day we'll be playing your game, appreciating your craft, and the leaks will be relegated to a footnote on a Wikipedia page. Keep pushing, keep making art." Alana Pierce, a video game writer at Sony Santa Monica, as well as a content creator, said, "Leaks are awful for everybody, including excited fans who are often looking at an unfinished product and creating totally false expectations based upon that. Everyone loses, it just sucks." Pavel Sasko, a lead developer at CD Projekt Red, said, "Dread to think what the Rockstar team is going through right now. Years of work are now being shredded, torn apart, analyzed, misunderstood, taken out of context, and memed. A destructive cycle games industry knows way too well. Help to make it better and don't engage with the leaks." The GTA series videos, they responded also saying, "In the last 20 years, I've seen numerous reveals by Rockstar from GTA 3 to Red Dead Redemption 2, and every single one of them was surprising, exciting, and memorable. I'm really upset now that for the first time these feelings have been robbed from all of us. F these leaks, seriously." Josh Sawyer, a game director at Obsidian Entertainment, he also worked on Fallout New Vegas, said, "Game leaks suck. Whether it's information or assets/footage, it's all bad. Devs can't really address it in a productive way, and it's incredibly demoralizing and disruptive for the team. Pentiment misinformation leaked, and we're still undoing that damage, and that leak was tiny." And just these couple of tweets put into perspective perfectly how much of this games industry is reacting to this news right now. Now, as we discussed earlier on today, in which I broke down a lot of the gameplay clips, we learned quite a bit about Grand Theft Auto 6. We learned the main protagonist's name, Lucia and Jason. Within some of the gameplay encounters, we could see the implementation of various RPG elements, including the robbery system that was featured last in Red Dead Redemption 2. There also seems to be dialogue options, just like, again, RDR2. But the Grand Theft Auto community for the last number of hours have been extremely busy breaking down all of the new stuff that we learned about Grand Theft Auto 6, and I thought I'd share some of the findings that we now have. Now, to some of the new discoveries that have been made on this GTA 6 leak, we first have a bunch of GTA vehicles that have been discovered with names, the ones that are well known with this franchise. We have the Yoga Classic, the Contender and Sadler, a Slam Van pickup, a Bobcat XL, an updated Regina, an Alpha, a Gauntlet Classic, a Moonbeam, Helion, Boxville Go Postal. There's an unknown Albany vehicle that is based on a 1959 60 Cadillac. There's a Rebel. There's some sort of unknown Asian sedan, a Feroce or a Feroci, a Baller, a Novak, Buffalo STX, an Alpha and Fudo, a Benson, an NF890, a Buffalo with no sports bumper, and then there's also a Stanier and Landstalker. And then obviously a boatload of unknown new vehicles that we won't know their names of for quite some time until an actual official trailer emerges. Now, one thing that is easily noticeable with this new version of Vice City is the fact that Rockstar is expanding much further into Florida. What do I mean by that? It's not going to just be Miami. It's going to be a larger portion of the state. And some of the iconic locations that have already been found, there seems to be a racetrack, Homestead Miami Speedway, which is in Grand Theft Auto 6 called the Port Gellhorn Racetrack. There's also the Portofino Tower that was spotted in some of this footage. The Sombrero Key Light, we saw, I believe, Jason swimming near it. The Solar Amphitheater Bayfront Park, that was also, again, another thing noticed with Jason making his way around there. Rockstar's developers were showing off that location because they were showing how the main character interacted with the seats or if they clipped through it and such. Just basic things that happen in game development. There was also this location, no specific name for it, but it's which looks identical to its real-life counterpart. The Lone Depot Park in Miami was also seen. That is obviously the home to the Miami Marlins, which is a baseball team. And the interesting thing about this is that we see logos for the Vice City Mambas, which is a football team in the 3D universe. They showed up in GTA Online, I believe sometime recently. Although it looks like Rockstar may be turning this baseball ballpark into a football field. Not entirely too clear what's exactly happening there though. The high-rise residential condominium in Miami, Florida 1000 Museum can be spotted in the background in one of these scenes. There's also a metro map that is identical to the real Miami version. It literally looks pinpoint on the dot, identical to the one in real life. And then there are various road signs which indicate that there is a giant interstate for us to go about, and then a bunch of grasslands and vegetation that makes it look like this could stretch into Georgia. That is right now the current working theory that the GTA forums community has, but again, until we see some more, it's really hard to make those conclusions at this point. But we also do see a Vice City Neighborhood Police Department building that almost looks identical to the Miami Beach Police Department building. So obviously Rockstar taking some creative liberties here, and how all this comes together, again, will remain a mystery for quite some time. Now moving along, we have another breakdown of all of the gameplay footage that has leaked thus far. Special thank you to GTA Forums member Sluthius for a very detailed breakdown, but things that we do see in this footage, we see character switching. It's not like GTA 5 in which you see the map zoom out. It's very instant, although that could change definitely during development. Easter egg, there was an Easter egg list shown including multiple missing tourists that could be found. There's a Satanist house, mummified old lady, a farm monster man, a forest figure, rat infestation, King Neptune statues, and much more. Mountain biking ramps are new activities, and then I mentioned this earlier, but there's a racetrack, the Port Gellhorn racetrack that was discovered in this footage. And we also see the female character Lucia's bedroom. We do see a section of the GTA 6 map. It's very small, but it does appear that all of this was going down in the PlayStation development kit. You can rob fast food joints. There is a timer before the cops are called. The main male character, Jason, can also help you rob these places. Any vehicle you are seen entering will be known to the law. Police will remember the car that you left in. So this will be very different than how previous Grand Theft Auto games went about this, in which you could just race away and then eventually wait for those stars. It seems like you'll have to get rid of the vehicle or maybe take it in somewhere to get the colors changed or something along those lines. Very interesting that they expanded upon that feature. You can break into shipping containers. That will be a new feature. We also see text to the top right indicating that spear guns, golf balls, tracker jammers, immobilizer bypasses can be used to steal cars, flashbangs, USB drives, auto dialers, lockpicks, slim jims, golf wedges, irons, putters, drivers, crowbars, hunter snipers, cutoff tools are again things that can be used to open shipping containers and just weapons in general. There's also binoculars, baseball bats, and pool cues, all items that will be in GTA 6. Our male protagonist, Jason, picks up an assault rifle from the ground as opposed to the gun blipping into his inventory. And then there's a seemingly unfinished version of the weapon wheel shown, which shows that you can also drop our weapons now onto the ground. We see a list of world events such as playing dice, dead husband disposal, thrown out, lifeguard tower, park south, museum, drug deal, cop raid, and overdose events. Very interesting what that may be or not. We seem to be able to hear a police radio, and hostile players can spot us in their territory and they may shoot us to kill. There's at least one pawn shop in the game, and there's indication that we will be able to rob it. We also see a menu that shows up and there is an option to tame. Maybe this is an indication of something we can do with wild animals. There's also options for fatigue, elevators, arrest information, sweat, and more. Do wonder if there's going to be survival elements like that was the case in Red Dead Redemption 2. We see during one of these encounters on the strip club a "What's up" message received, and this could mean that there's a WhatsApp parody in the game. We see the Vice City Metro. Our female protagonist Lucia is on the back of a truck shooting at cops. This is a new feature they were testing out. We see a prone animation. Our character will react differently when being shot at, even while walking. They will no longer face the bullets head on like in previous titles. Again, this just shows Rockstar's artificial intelligence becoming a lot better and better over time. Red Dead Redemption 2 was already extremely impressive, and GTA 6 should be even miles better. There are some death animations shown, some new ones. Airboats are in the game, another new vehicle. There's some pretty cool diving ragdoll animations. We also do see some unfinished heads-up display inventory elements. We see somebody having a duffel bag or a loot bag, and maybe that's an indication that when we rob stores we can load it with items and then maybe sell those items later on. That's a big question mark right now. Our male protagonist Jason swims underwater, and he can be seen holding a gun underwater. And then last but not least, the other protagonist can accompany us while robbing stores and doing other activities. Anyway, that is currently where we stand with this Grand Theft Auto 6 leak situation. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or if you found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.